We're so glad you guys come back again.
I was trying to say Hey pals, buds, and lovelies, welcome back to Moaning and Musing with
Megan
and Hannah.
All right, today we're doing we know all you youngins are going back to school, so we thought we'd talk about our high school, what we wish that we had known when we were in high school. Also, I just got Invisaligns. If you can hear me lisp, no you don't.
All right.
Would you like to begin?
No.
No? Okay. I guess we'll just start with how high school for us.
I guess we can say that it's been a few years now. Like, we've been out for a while.
Hannah graduated 16, I graduated 17.
Yeah.
So however long that's been, I can't do maths fast. I'll do it real quick. 17,
it's
18,
unnecessary.
19, 20, 22,
23. And like, what?
7
24,
years for me, 8 for you.
years for me.
Yep. So I started in 2012.
I started in 2012.
Then I started in 2013.
I was like, that's weird. How'd you do that?
The years all blur together, you get this old.
The only reason I remember is because I remember the year I graduated 8th grade. Easily.
Yeah, I didn't care about that, really.
Oh my God, the anxiety and nervousness of starting a new high school. Not only just a new high school, but it was a public school for the first time for me. And what helped me look forward to later in the year is because the first Hunger Games was coming out in the fall. So I would have already started my freshman year, but then the Hunger Games was coming out. So I was like, okay, even if I was like, I can at least look forward to that.
That's always nice to have something like
big
that
things
in
like
life,
that.
like an album, a movie.
That's what I'm
stuff
saying.
Like that
it's like, yeah, and those do get people through things.
They do.
I kept because it was so big and the books were doing so well. When my mom went early to make sure we got the tickets in advance, we got a cute little a little gift card, and it had Katniss on it. I thought that was so fucking cool. I kept it.
Which movie would it have been that year?
It was the first one. It was the very first one.
So that
it was serious.
I remember seeing that.
So
but I was
serious that my
school.
Cousins had dressed up a little bit
I've seen
as
the pictures.
characters. Yeah,
yeah. Was Megan Katniss?
Of course.
Yeah,
and
of course.
Carissa was obviously Primrose.
That's adorable. That makes complete sense.
Right.
Anyway, we were both in ROTC. I think we've talked about that before, which is not as dorky as it sounds, especially at the school we went to.
Okay, it is dorky, period, I will say. Yeah, and I Megan's gonna act like that. It so was. But I also any group that you have, you're gonna meet people that you connect with in it. So ROTC is a nice small community to have in a big high school.
Well, I was in there. I think our reasons for joining were different because I was
forced to.
Yeah. And then my parents had met in ROTC. They're super divorced now.
My parents met in ROTC, but it wasn't at the school that we went to.
I didn't even know that.
They did not meet in ROTC. Why the fuck did I just say that? That's actually a lot.
I thought the lore was they met in a class and your mom picked your dad for
some island thing. He was in ROTC. Pardon. She was not.
Because he used to be yapping.
She was a cheerleader.
What was it that he did? Going down the side of the Southern high school.
Yeah, what's up with back in the fucking 80s? I don't know why we can't. Not that I would do it. I'm so fucking scared of heights. But they literally would rappel down the roof of the high school.
That is pretty cool.
Fucking
actually.
80s.
Yeah.
Okay. Guess we're not doing that in 2015. Whatever.
I wonder if they do still do it because if they let us
off the top of the roof.
We did it at leadership camp and it was probably
leadership camp though. I just feel like that you can sign the waivers and get everybody to agree to that, but having everybody be okay with us rappelling off the roof of the high school, I feel like a bunch of random kids would see us and be like, "I want to do
guns,
that."
Though, in the school,
pellets,
shots were fired.
Yes, and they were little pellets.
The stuff they had us doing too.
They used to shoot real fucking small bore rifles years ago.
My parents were there. They did.
I'm glad we didn't. I'm glad I didn't do those. I wouldn't have enjoyed that. The cute little air rifles that we have the pellets were so tiny and cute.
Is it the same kind they have at the Olympics?
It is.
But
It literally is.
The little pellets.
Yeah.
But I did drill team, and that was why I joined ROTC. Is because at the time the streak is dead and gone. But they had won so many national championships.
You want to be a part of something like that?
Team. Yeah. And I was like,
I also let me say joined drill my freshman year. I did.
Yeah, your shoe slipped.
Well, I wasn't going to say that story. But yeah, that was not for me. I had the two options. I was on both teams, and yeah, mine just wasn't feeling that one.
That's probably why we never interacted, because all my friends were drill team. But the drill team, so if you're in ROTC, if most of the people that watch this know us, but if you're like from not Kentucky or your school didn't have ROTC, drill team means something different. So what we did was like the military stuff where you had like the whole uniform on, you threw guns, and like we're going like the really sharp movements, you know.
Yeah, everybody's like in line, everybody's doing the exact same thing. It looks crisp, it looks pretty. There's some flipping rifles. Yeah, it looks cool. Yeah.
So I just like to win. Like at the end of the year, every year we went to the beach and we competed, and you got to go on the beach. So I wanted to do the beach and I wanted to win things, and we did.
Period. And anyway, and we did.
Yeah, I'm not bitter at all that things got weird with that team after like a few years after I left. I'm not weird at all about it. I'm weird about it.
Well, can't believe we're getting into this on our fucking podcast. But you know what? It's our podcast. Listen to it if you want, or just skip this bit. I don't really care. But like with how I was on the rifle team, I don't even know how it is now. But like there was a short amount of time, oddly enough, when I was there. That's weird. When like the rifle team was good. We actually had people who were not bad at all, and we were able to make it to nationals. It's a different type of, I think, it's hard to explain to people how hard it is to actually get to nationals with those fucking teams, dude. That shit is actually hard. They base it off of like if someone got a 10, so like you would think a bullseye is just a 10, but when you're shooting with that, it goes so far as to a 10.9. It is all about how that was rough, buddy. And it was a team sport, but it was more so individual, which is why I liked it, because I knew how good I was, and I knew that I could, like, easily do this. And I love winning. So, of course, I was like, yeah, I'd rather do that. Whereas drill was like,
I mean, you still probably would have been successful.
Oh, for sure. But I knew what I was like, what I could handle at the time in Hannah's life. I was like, I could probably survive much better on the rifle team rather than the drill.
The drill team was crazy. Like,
as well, I think I would have gotten really stressful. Yeah, like it just really, the anxiety and stress I would have got from like going to practice when I was fucking beefing with somebody on the team or something. Like I just would not be able to handle that.
I think it was kind of that kind of stuff I think was good for me though. Like the having to like deal with people I didn't want to deal with, I think, because you have to go. And it was one of those things too where like they took it so serious. And that was going to be one of my pieces of advice is like, don't let nobody tell you.
That's all we knew. It was so serious to us. Oh my God. Guess what? It's not. It's so not. It's so not.
It's so not. It felt to me so life or death though. Like I would go in there sick as a dog, dude, because they would be like, no, you need to come in and practice. I'd be in there literally throw up and continue practicing.
The way that I would finagle. If you did
certain things wrong, you had to do push-ups, like a lot of push-ups.
Don't get me started with that. Yeah.
Did y'all have to do that?
When I was a fucking
like, did they make you push if you were sucking?
Stories, dude. Get this. This pissed me off. And my sister, Lauren, will know what I'm talking about with this fucking story. My freshman year, okay, I was already on the rifle team. And so when we say, so there's this man, his rank is colonel, so we would call him colonel. But he was like our senior instructor, like the higher up teacher, okay? There were like two teachers, the whole
okay? Too, not just
these grown men, yeah. Anyway, he was like, he came out and saw me interact with Lauren. Lauren's my sister, but we were in school in ROTC. Yeah. So his brain was like...
the hierarchy, too, of the ROTC stuff is you're, as a student, you get ranks, and you actually have to respect the ranks. So
you actually do. Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. Yeah. This is what got me, is I was a freshman, so Lauren was, a junior? And I had mouthed off to her because she said some stupid ass shit. And I said, and Colonel was like, you gonna let her like speak to you that way or something like that? And I looked at, like, we made the eye contact and I was like, don't you fucking dare. And I had to push. I had to fucking push. It was probably the smallest amount. It was probably like 10.
Yeah, but Lauren I was like, probably take it light.
Oh, exactly, because she wasn't gonna do anything anyway. It's like, I'm allowed to fucking talk to you if you say some stupid shit. Like, I'm allowed to bring something up, okay?
Yeah.
But ooh.
Yeah, there were people too that like
seniors my freshman year that like made me push for like the minuscule shit type. Yeah.
You'd have your sock on weird, and they'd be like, "Go ahead and do push-ups." And I was like, "What is the matter with you?
You power hungry freak." Okay, you were literally talking to a child.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those ones never went far, though, in fairness. Like, so you had, like, you got to your senior year. This is not what this whole video is going to be about.
Yeah, we're going in depth, but we've never talked about it, so...
Yeah. So you get to your senior year and you get, like, a job, and the ones that acted like that never got good jobs.
No.
Like, it just didn't happen. Except my freshman year, there were some weirdos that were pretty high up. I will say. I'm not going to say names, but specifically the men.
That's funny that she says that, because that is what... I would have been a sophomore, my sister would have been the seniors.
And I say again, not talking about the girls. Yeah. It was the boys that got weird, as it always is. But anyway.
Yeah.
So coming from that, my piece of advice that I wrote down for that is do not let anybody convince you that anything going on in high school is that serious.
Yeah,
it's just
never,
not.
It never is. It feels like it is because that's all you know at the time.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's hard to, what is it like? 14 to 17, 18, whatever is your range. Yeah. And it's hard to, at that time, like, think that there's more important things than what that is. But yeah, it's never that fucking serious. Ever.
No, especially like the sport. Unless
I got over that with the sport thing.
Well, unless you're like so good that it actually is going to affect your future.
Well, because it was such an individual sport that I was doing, I didn't get sick over missing practice. Sometimes I was like, no, I'm going to get a coffee before school instead of practicing.
Yeah, we couldn't do that on mine at all. Like if you were late, you had to push 10 push-ups for every minute
that is
you were
how,
late.
See, that's ridiculous.
Which that adds up.
These are children. But...
And they would be serious. I was 20 minutes late one time, and seriously, they made me do like 200
I bet they fucking did.
I was there like most of practice.
That's how the different experiences it was for us on the teams. Whereas like, because mine was so much of an individual thing, and with the coach you have, they can coach you only so much. It is a lot what's in your own head. So he would just be like, he would trust us to, you know, like do it on our own. So it's like, I'm like, I'm a fucking teenager. Like, I'm gonna lie to you. So it's like, well, yeah, dude, I know what I'm doing. I'm not gonna practice. Easy peasy. Yeah.
Yeah. Ours was different, though.
I had a great senior year.
We had to get our stuff lined up. Like, you did have to be there. Because even if you were
I get what you're saying on that. Yeah.
You had to figure out, like, so we would go down the line and we'd be holding these guns. They're like rifles or whatever, and they would look down and you had to have your hand exactly where everyone else did.
Well, it makes sense why it would feel life or death with something like that. Yeah. Because with that, it is practice, just to make it perfect that one time in competition. That makes sense.
Good though. I was watching the Olympics. I was watching the what was it? The artistic swimmers, and I was like, their alignment is all weird. It was pissing me off. I was like, that's not that hard to fix, actually, if you just try to fix it. But
well
some
said.
people just don't be thinking about that.
Couldn't have said truer words.
But yeah, so don't let them convince you it's that serious. Try your best, but like, do not be throwing up and being like, just take care of yourself and your head and your body. It's not that deep. Which I think somebody needed to tell me that when I was in high school. But
that's part of the reason why I wore this hat.
Because it's goofy.
Yeah, because you shouldn't take yourself so seriously.
Yeah. All right. What else did I have written down? Okay. The number one thing I wrote down, because I really believe this, like, when you're in high school, everything does feel life or death to you. And I'm not even talking about sports anymore. Just
it's like in general. It's any
your friendships, your romantic,
the juicy
like your
gossip that's going on with the crushes or the friendships or anything like that. Any social thing also feels life or death.
Yeah. And I was like, your parents, they're not going to get it. Something happens. I don't know what age, because I feel like I still remember what it felt like.
I know. I'm trying to check myself.
Like.
That's what
they
I'm
forget what it feels
constantly
like.
Checking myself to try and like take it with. Yeah, man. I don't know what happens where it literally there's no connection there.
Yeah, there's that Lorde quote, Lorde the singer. She had
not
said,
Jesus Christ our Savior.
Yeah. When Pure Heroin came out, she was like, even when she was younger, she said, I knew teenagers knew something that I didn't know, and it was something that you then forget when you get older. Which I think that's
if we can
completely
name
true.
it. I don't know if we can, like, I don't even know what it is, but yeah,
I think it's
gone.
because teenagers let their emotions guide them so much more than any other age range.
Yeah.
And like children do it to an extent where it's like ridiculous. Whereas when you're a teenager, you start caring about social structure.
So yeah.
But your emotions are still really guiding you.
Still super
as
strong.
you get older, you get to a point where you're like feeling your feelings is stupid, which I think is crazy.
It is fucking crazy. It is.
Because we should all, to some extent, be letting, like, you shouldn't have to dog everything out. You know what I'm saying? And adults have a tendency to be like, dog it out. No,
I don't want to. Fuck that.
And sometimes, like, there's like a balance to it. Like, sometimes you should dog it out, but like, sometimes just let yourself feel what you're feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's got to be a balance there.
Oh, but there is. There literally is. Don't get me started on like why we're where we are right now. Don't get me. We're starting it at a young age. We're getting it. If there are high schoolers that do listen to us, and I hope, like, I'm bound to be, I would have been somebody who's looking at older people on a podcast or YouTube when I was younger.
Yeah,
easily.
Like this. I think that fan page, Moon Fans. I think that might be a high schooler. I think there's a possibility.
Period.
I also wrote down, and this is very important because I think that like
everything we say is super fucking important. Everything we say.
But seriously, take this one to heart. No one is looking at you as much as you think they are.
Oh,
ever.
Yeah, okay. And like, I'm using the word selfish, but there's like a negative connotation with it. But I will say, like, people tend to think really selfishly, especially with their teenage
it's self-consciousness.
It is.
Yeah.
So you are constantly thinking about how you're coming across, when in actuality, the other person's probably thinking about themselves and how they come across. So then you guys are both just like having this conversation, but in the back of your mind, you're like, do I seem okay? Am I doing all right? Yeah. And it's like the person is doing the same thing. So
yep.
Just chill.
Doing that shit.
Yeah.
And I wrote, and if they are caring that much, that's weird.
That's weird.
That's really weird. Like,
just leave.
If anyone is like hitting you up, which this happens a lot in high school, a lot of people in high school have a lot to say about what you're doing. I remember that happening to me where like on the drill team, we would sit down and they'd be like, she doesn't like what you're doing. I'm like, why should I give a fucking fuck? What if she doesn't like what I'm doing? What are we talking about? But that really affects you, and it just like shouldn't, because why is anyone coming and be like, I don't like your attitude, I don't like the way you're doing that? Who cares?
Well, it's like I wasn't, I'm not here to exist for you.
That part.
I'm literally, it's me, doing me. Yep. Just mind your business. Go over there
and do your school stuff.
And literally, hey, just don't say it. Just don't comment. Yeah. Just keep your comment to yourself.
Worry about yourself. If someone else is doing something that you don't like, they're probably going through something. Like, especially at that age.
Yes.
Oh my God. And if you don't like it, just don't hang out with them.
Yeah. You have the choice to not hang out with them or be in their circle or their bubble. Like you.
And everyone has that choice with you too. Like, yes. You don't have to change.
They're allowed to make that choice to not hang out with you because they don't vibe with you either.
Yep.
And there are plenty of people who are just not going to vibe with you.
And that's fine. Like,
it would be crazy if everybody in the world like got along with you. Like, that doesn't make sense.
That's part of the beauty of being human, is that there's just so many different types of people.
Yes.
And not everybody's
so many different
mesh.
Types of people, like types of combinations to create this person. So like the odds of you getting along with everybody is literally impossible.
You also don't have to beef with them if you don't like them. You can just be like, they're not my cup of tea.
Yeah, you literally
move on.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be like an issue, which I think I had that problem a lot in high school, where if I didn't like someone, I was like,
it was like,
I don't like
we're
them,
fucking,
so they're doing it
like,
wrong.
Yeah.
I've gotten older and now I'm like, there's just different types of people.
It just,
like,
they
don't
is
have
what
to
it
do
is.
things the way I did them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that like on the outside, and I'm like, all right, period. Not for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I think I've done the last like 3, so I'm gonna let you get your point.
Well, I can go off of, we were talking so much about ROTC, and I had said it earlier, but I'll go in a little more depth of like having a group when you go into high school.
That is important.
So when because I had to apply to the high school I went to, because it wasn't is it a homeschool? Is that what they call it? Where it's like the closest like range. Vicinity or whatever. Because my parents wanted me to go where my sister was going. I said that's so weird.
No, you
No,
didn't.
my accent. I swear, when I said going, that's not how I actually speak. But I wanted to do something else rather than ROTC. My parents were trying to get me to. My sister was on the field hockey team.
I forgot they had field hockey.
Well,
That
they
died.
got rid of it when I went. Hey, I got lucky because I was gonna be on that fucking team. Riddle me this: why were they making me do that when they could have just, if they were gonna force me to do a
you
sport?
wanted to do it.
Why?
Didn't you just say you wanted to do it?
No,
Field hockey?
no.
Well, why would they make you?
I'm literally about to say, if they were gonna make me do a sport, hey, why don't you make me do a sport I loved playing when I was younger? I don't know. Why didn't they? If they were gonna force me, because they made me do ROTC and they were gonna make me do field hockey. Then why didn't they get me to do like basketball or volleyball or softball? Literally,
Did you make an argument?
Oh, me making an argument?
That's
with
not
my
an argument.
parents?
If they go, when you don't feel like you go, I think I'm gonna join the basketball team. I feel like that just would have been, ended.
No, I had too many insecurities about actually being good enough because I was coming from a tiny ass fucking Catholic school.
Don't
I was
worry
like,
about that neither.
That's
Advice,
another
don't worry
thing.
about
Hey,
that.
it doesn't
You'll be
fucking
fine.
matter if because it's like you're
I
just
get why
playing a
you would
sport
be,
you want to
but
play.
yeah.
Oh yeah, with how I am specifically.
Well, anyone.
Like-
I mean, but it just.
Well, it doesn't
You're not
matter.
gonna give
That's
a
right.
shit
So
in
I'm
5
giving.
years.
This is
You're
like
just
my
not.
experience of going in. It was nice having like a designated little tiny community within your school because they're everywhere. There's like, I guess we can call them cliques, but they're bigger. But like I wanted to do something with art. So like that you still would have been able to find a group with that.
Yeah, ROTC was a class too. So if you were in like a team in ROTC, it prevented you from doing any other type of like thing in school.
Yeah.
Because you had like your time slot taken up where you could do like journalism or mixed media or anything. You just had ROTC.
Yeah.
So that did kind of suck. But I don't regret it.
Well, that's why I was like,
do.
I don't, well, and I'm not about to go on a whole discussion of this, but I will say I don't regret the decisions that I like made for high school and like how my career in high school went. But I will say it probably, like it wasn't bad, but it wasn't super, super great experience, but I was also super closeted. So I don't know, like, if I was out and knew myself in a different way, if it would have been as okay or as like fun, because I wouldn't have enjoyed ROTC as much.
There weren't very many. I don't remember there being a lot of queer people at our school that were like openly queer.
I knew some.
So that I knew some
in my
too,
class,
but
my
there were,
grade,
like, not as many as there are for sure.
They're not going to be loud about it,
Yeah.
but there's probably so many groups that I just didn't know about. I think like quiet groups, they're not gonna be like loud about it, but obviously you find your own. So but yeah, that would have been a different experience. But I don't regret like how I did it with high school and stuff like that. I had a good time. I made good friends. I'm still friends with some people in high school.
I had fun in high school too. Most of my friends freaking left. That was part of the problem with ROTC too. Is everyone joined the military and left.
Yeah.
Like one of my best friends, Lizzie. Her husband now got married, Marine Corps. She's gone. That's actually the only one that I can think of.
Well, I was like I
only had like 3.
Yeah, well, I was thinking. Friends. I'm like
a lot of the people I was on
really
the drill team with either joined the military or got married to somebody who did.
Well, the friends that I'm still friends with in high school weren't really in ROTC.
Yeah. We had really different. We weren't in the same circles in high school, so it was
literally ever. But
I also wrote down your grades.
Oh,
listen. Actually do stay on top of that, because you're gonna want, like, even if you don't think you want to go to college, you want to give yourself the best opportunity later to do something like that if you want to. Which for me, I really didn't want to go to college when I was in high school.
I didn't even really. It was on the road. I wasn't really thinking about it, but I saw it down the road. I knew it was like that was a thing.
I didn't know what I was going to do. I knew I didn't want to join the military the whole time I was in high school.
Oh, my God.
I knew I was not probably going to want to go to college, but I did kind of try to set myself up for it, but not as hard as I could have. Yeah. So, like, I didn't do bad in school at all, but I would have taken a lot more, like, AP classes and done that kind of stuff. Which I didn't take
I didn't take my AP or advanced classes as seriously, obviously, because, like, we are teenagers. Like, it is hard to do that when you are so concerned about certain social things, I will say.
But that's what I'm saying is the social stuff. Like, I wish I had tried harder to get myself set up for college because, and I try to go to college right out of high school, which that's another thing I wrote down is don't let anybody convince you to do that.
You have to do that. It's not like you have to.
Yeah. You don't have to. You can always go later. There's no timeline.
Honestly, for me, like, and it's, I think I should have
gone right out of high school.
No, I did go right out of high school. I'm saying I should have just waited, like you were saying. Like you don't have to. Like I think easily could have waited. Also, you know, it gives you more time to like figure out what's like. If you knew what you wanted to do, that's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, like if you were like set for, yeah, that's cool that you had this plan and you were like sure of it too, and we're sticking with it. Because I literally had no fucking idea. Yeah. That thing where the teacher was like, you know, write what you like to do and like you'll figure out. And it was like, mine didn't just, you know, no. And
yeah.
that list didn't work.
I had to take those quizzes. So by the time I did get to college, I was undecided, hated my life.
I just picked English like as easy. Oh my God, those days.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
I went to IUS. I live in Louisville, and I went
drove to Indiana.
Indiana University Southeast, which is right across the bridge. But it was like a 45-minute drive every day. And there were days that I went and like just drove there and sat in the parking lot because I was like, I hate this. I hate it here.
The amount of times that I drove to my schools.
Just to not go.
Sat in the school too. Hey, sometimes went to the library, got some food, watched something on my laptop.
Yeah. I should have just waited. But there was a lot of pressure from specifically my mom to go to college. Yeah. And I understand why she wanted me to do that because of her life story. College did a lot for her, which college does a lot for a lot of people.
It does, yeah.
But if you're not ready to go, you're probably not going to do
there's not going to be a really good success rate, man. You're not, that forcing yourself to do things when like your mind and body is not like actually ready for it. Yeah.
I was so focused too. So like the dating in high school thing, I dated in high school. You didn't really date in high school, but I had like a serious boyfriend when I left high school, and he had moved like away for college. Mm-hmm. So that really fucked with my high school, college experience as well, because I was so focused on that, which was stupid. But what are you gonna do? You feel how you feel.
Yeah, you're gonna want to focus on your your relationship. That is gonna be at the front of your brain.
But you should, always just take care of yourself, especially at like high school through your 20s. Honestly, I don't even know. I'm not in my 30s yet, but probably your 30s too. Just take care of yourself. Like, just get your own brain right. Take care. Like, do what you need to do to get ahead in life. But I wasn't there.
If you're cooking good and you're doing great, like that'll just bleed out into the other things.
Yep. Should not have dated in high school. That would be a bit of advice nobody's going to listen to. Just don't.
The way that I, like, after, and I don't even, call it dating, but it was, not even, because, after that, I was just like, this is not for me. It's just not for me. That's not my vibe. No, thank you. Yeah.
Well, if you're a girl that's straight, the boys of that age, however you're thinking in your brain that you think they're thinking, they're not. They're not thinking like that. They're not putting the stuff together the way that you think that they should be.
It's actually crazy. They're really not. They're really not.
Like, even in
that
your
is
20s,
a fucking
they're
fact.
probably not thinking.
For real. Like, really. That is just a fact.
Yep. And then if you're a girl dating girls, I don't know what that's like, so I didn't do that in high school.
I wonder what that was like in high school.
Well, I had some fruity experiences in high school.
Yeah.
But different than dating.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it dating. It wasn't dating.
Yeah. Just focus on your freaking
yeah, man,
history.
Chill. You can control how you do stuff, okay? Oh my god.
Yeah. Whatever great romance that you've seen in Twilight, it ain't happening.
It'll fucking happen after you graduate high school, okay? Just get past that, brother. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
What do I wish I knew then? Yeah, we've tackled that multiple times. Yeah, right?
Yeah, if I could go back and actually speak to myself.
Yes, okay. What I would say. Nobody's fucking looking at your body like you think you are. And if they are, it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah. I don't, yeah. I didn't really have that issue, but I'm sure a lot of people do have that issue.
Yeah, major fucking body issues. And it doesn't matter what your body looks like anyway. You could be from the smallest of small to just that average in between, or you could be fat. It does not matter. I think so many people just have body issues, and it comes to a head in high school.
Yeah.
And that's where it will ruin your life if you let it.
I had more of an issue, honestly, with like my my clothes and my hair. Like I feel like I could never get my hair how I wanted it to, like, and that was a real bone of contention. Well, the drill team, we had to have these super, super, super tight braids, and it would tear your hair up.
Yeah.
So, like, after I graduated high school, I cut all my hair off and just let it grow back out. But it was like, it'd be really frizzy all the time, and my parents never, like, parents just don't get it when you're in high school. I'm just gonna say it. They just don't. Like, they're like, your hair looks fine, get in the car. Hey, this is life or death to me, for real. Like, you need to shut the fuck up and help me do my hair. Like,
I don't want somebody to tell me my hair looks fine.
Yeah.
Don't tell me it looks fine.
Like, I have one sock on.
If it looks fine, I'm gonna fucking fix it.
Yeah, you need to give me a minute.
Oh my God.
Because this is
Can you let me
life
breathe?
Yeah.
We're saying now, like, nothing is really life or death. But I'm gonna say, like, I'm gonna.
And that is serious, because if you get to school and you don't like the way your hair looks, it's gonna ruin your whole fucking day.
Well,
it really is.
It's the same thing with, like, if I'm wearing something I really, really don't like the sensory, or like something is off, I'm just not feeling comfortable in my own skin, then you're gonna have a bad time literally the entire time that you were wearing it, or
your
however it looks.
Is gonna go.
Yeah, it doesn't. You can do nothing to actually help it except fix the actual thing.
And that's only kind of gotten better, honestly. Like, I just have more autonomy because I'm older and I can fix my hair. But if I had to leave the house sometimes without fixing my shit, I probably would walk around feeling like garbage all day. Like, I would hate to go to Kroger or straight out of bed. There's no way. The way that I used to have to do that with high school, I actually still would be affected by that. There's no way. Yeah, so that's tough. So on that front, just know I see you and I feel you.
I see you and I hear you.
Because that's tough. That's tough. My dad used to be like, you don't got time to do that. Make time.
Oh my God. We've had two different... the way that, like... Oh my God. This has nothing... I gotta say it because it had nothing to do with that. But it's like, they just don't get it. The way that my hair was straight, like all of high school, just pin straight. Like... so fucking straight, not a curl in sight except for the back of my head, okay? Like underneath all the hair. But the way when it started getting waves in it and curls, so it'd be a little half straight, half wavy. It was really weird, but I was letting the curls just do their thing because I was trying to understand my fucking hair. And the way my dad was like, are you gonna like brush your hair or are you just gonna leave it? And I was like, if you think I'm not already stressed about my hair...
He's been having a buzz cut since he joined the military as at 18?
Right out of high school.
Yeah.
Him and my mom.
Some curls? Damn.
He fucking wishes. I got the waves from him.
Yeah, but his hair's never long enough that he has to take care of it.
One time. I've seen it one time in my life when he let loose on the cruise. And long for him. He's long for him. Only for him.
So not long.
Long enough to where you saw some waves in his hair up top. Something. Yeah, it was legit waves.
Oh my gosh.
That's the first time that I've seen my dad actually have hair long enough to have waves in it, which is insane.
Yeah.
I'm 26.
I saw a TikTok. Jeez. This is not about your dad. This just made me think of, but it's like, it was a TikTok of the Deep shaving his head and the boys.
Oh my God.
And it was like men right when their hair gets to that perfect length. They cut it all
Seriously,
off.
what are you doing? Why did you do that? Hey,
straight
why did you do that?
As soon as their hair gets to that glorious,
like, I'm all long for
length, they're like, I'm gonna cut it all
people
off.
Doing what they want to do for themselves, okay? But then there is also
until I'm not.
Well,
let that grow out a little bit.
Well, like, dude, like, you look hot. You look great. Keep it like that. What the hell? What are you doing? Why did you do that?
I was talking about that with Corey. Yes, Corey's my aunt, though, and she said she really digs a buzz cut. So, to each their own.
Like a buzz cut every so often. But it has to be so...
I'm not down with the buzz cut.
I know you're not. You're not.
When Harrison wanted to get his buzz cut, I was like, do what you gotta do. Because that's one of those things where it's like, I'm gonna like you anyway.
It's his choice. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But don't brush your hair. Just my piece of advice, if you're thinking about it, don't.
Don't. The way that it took me forever to even get the haircut that I have now, it took years to be like picture myself with it, and like it's a really like, don't just do the oh my god, buzz it, like oh my god, because that is such a drastic change. There's no hair.
I don't know. Honestly, it's your head, so don't let me tell you what to do, but I'm not gonna like it.
It'd be crazy if you eventually, in your lifetime.
I won't.
I'm writing that down.
I
won't.
But yeah, if I could go back, talk to myself as a freshman in high school, what would I say?
I would get over yourself.
No, I think I would not say that.
I meant with the whole thing of thinking about everybody's thinking about how I'm looking. Get over yourself. Oh my god.
I feel like that's mean though. To get over yourself.
In my negative way of how I was constantly thinking about my body is when I mean get over yourself. It's like, it's really not a big deal.
You could say yourself what you want to say to yourself.
Right,
I would go back and
so
tell
that's what I'm
myself,
saying.
I'd be like, just don't worry about everything all the time. Or just relax. It's not a big deal.
But I don't know if I could say that because I was always in my head, always in my brain, always talking to myself.
I don't know. I don't think I knew the skill in high school of how to like combat that is what I was missing. You know, because I always just thought I was right. You know what I mean? Like now when I have thoughts like that, I know how to respond to myself in my own head and be like, they're not thinking that.
Well, like flush it out, you know?
Yeah. Whereas then I would be like, you're right.
One would almost say that that's like, what is it? Maybe the frontal lobe?
Maybe. But also, like, I do think that can be taught to younger people. You just don't. I just didn't have the tools.
The skills,
yeah.
Yes.
Like, there is, like, an aspect of frontal lobe development, but there's also, like, I don't think I ever was met with empathy when I went to adults in my life. Not that anyone was, like, mean to me, but whenever I would go and, like, they would just tell me it was stupid. You know what I mean? Like, if I was complaining about, like, something with a boy or, like, he won't text me back or something with, like,
it was
my
a brush
friendships.
Off.
The answer I always got was, you're not going to care about that in a few years, which they were right. I mean, they weren't wrong. But
I was caring about it so much at that time. And those few years are going to be forever for me.
That's not helpful. That's not helpful advice at the time. So I think if I could go back and talk to myself, I would tell myself to quit overthinking. So, because you're going to convince yourself that you're right about something and you're not. Like, you don't know what you're, especially in high school where I'd be like, this person is thinking this about me because they've looked at me this way.
Yeah.
Whereas
I was so sure.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
and I was not good at convincing myself that wasn't what was going on.
Yeah.
Whereas now I can do that more. But I think if I could tell myself that that I was probably wrong, that would be one thing. But I mean, being told you're not going to cure in a few years, like, yeah, that's true, you're not. And that's something to, like, keep in mind. But that's not always the most helpful advice.
Not at the time. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Damn. High school. Can't imagine anybody listening to this who I knew in high school. Except, like, the handful of people that I talked to.
I don't know who. I know Leanne.
Like, she's from your side.
Yeah.
I know there's a handful of people from my side, but I don't think there's really that many. So I hope the actual high schoolers that do listen to this
got some helpful advice. Yeah. We kind of just went on a tangent a little bit.
This is literally what this is for.
So true. Do you want to get our zoomies out?
Yeah, I watched the most amazing show ever. And
Did you remember what it was now? Shrill. Okay. I remember now. Didn't you say earlier you can't remember what
there was another one? I watched another thing and I don't remember what it was.
Okay, so you did forget at the end of the
Yeah, I forgot the other thing, but I remember Shrill. So there's a show on Hulu called Shrill, and it only has 3. It's starting to sound like not a word to me when I say it. They only have 3 seasons, and I read the little trivia about it on IMDb, and it was like, I don't even know the reason it got canceled, but it was planned to get canceled so early that they were told early in the last season, so they had time to wrap it up, which I don't know why that type of show only got 3 fucking seasons, because it's so...
At least I got told to
wholesome.
Wrap it up, though.
I agree, so they were able to wrap it up, because it's very annoying when it's left on a
Yeah, so that's nice,
never
but not
knowing.
nice.
Yeah. But it's like essentially it centers around this what's her name? This woman named Annie, and she is a fat person, and it shows her struggle with like living in our world and growing up with a mom who is what is the phrase? The what mom?
Almond mom.
Yeah, she's so is
I
like
think there's
it's
actually
so
a scene where
severe.
her mom tells her
She
to
literally
only
is
eat
talking about almonds. She
Yeah.
was like, did you do the 6 almonds in between? And she's
Yeah,
like,
when you're
sometimes when I
hungry.
eat that, it almost feels like I eat 8 or 10 or something like that. And I'm like, I remember when I used to eat almonds. Dude, I fucking I hate almonds. I actually hate them so much. I can't believe I
like
ever
the
forced
chocolate
myself to
ones.
eat them.
Chocolate covered ones.
Yeah. Anyways, but that show is so like, and that's not even the main thing about it. It's like it tackles all of that, but it just is a very wholesome show. And there's queer representation, so that is nice. I do love that. The end of season 3, it's like she lives with her best friend, and
yeah, I definitely didn't. I watched it when it came out, but the new seasons hadn't come out yet.
2017 is when the first one came out, so it's like it really isn't that old at all. It's like very still
fresh.
I guess it's
I think I watched it in 2020.
Getting closer to
so
being old, isn't it? 2017 is.
I mean, yeah, 7
kind
years
of
ago.
old, isn't it?
We just did the math.
We established at the
Literally,
beginning of
I
this
just counted my
episode,
fingers,
so it
if
looks
you
like it
recall.
is kind of old, and so never mind. But it's really fucking good. You should watch it.
That's
and it's only
on
3 seasons,
Hulu,
and
I
it
think.
and like each episode is like 30 minutes or less type thing. So you can really I knocked that out just this past weekend.
I'm glad you enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was absolutely lovely.
I
loved it.
hurt my leg.
Oh yeah.
playing
I'm sure
tennis
you can
with
see that on the
Hannah.
camera.
Yeah, I have like a brace. I think I don't know for sure what happened because I was standing and then I wasn't standing.
It happened so fast, and I
yeah,
wasn't.
you didn't even
I
see
wasn't
it,
watching the
did
whole.
you?
I only saw the latter half of
Yeah.
it.
So I feel like my leg went backwards for a second. Went to the doctor. It's like all swollen and shit. But I got an extra week off work, so that was nice at least. Maybe an extra week. I'm not going back till that feels fully better, which is smart. Hey,
Well,
take
it's
care
an
of yourself.
injury,
What was I
yeah.
saying? Don't take it too serious. Same thing applies to your job.
Yeah. You
Don't
should. Your
sacrifice
body
yourself.
is more important.
He's about to sacrifice himself.
Oh, I can't do that. I was about to go so hard.
He's about to sacrifice himself. Is my tooth bleeding? My lip is definitely bleeding. I'm just making sure. I just got these Invisaligns too. Is there blood in that one?
It looked not really.
It has. I have
got a
those
little bit-
attachments. It's dry.
You cut on your lip.
Yeah. It's
What did
been
you
hurting.
do?
It's just
On this side.
my lips are getting dry. Like I have retainers in.
Oh. So
Yeah,
I had
everything's
mine in high
dry.
school. Oh my god. I had mine Invisalign back in high school. That was a time.
That would be a time.
That's another thing too. It's like, you're so concerned about yourself and how you look and all these other people and how they look at you. And like, that's the prime time when you're getting your braces and you're getting your
And
weird
acne.
glasses and your acne's all over your fucking face because you're growing. And it's just a rough fucking time, you know?
Yes.
It's just a rough time. And your body's still growing in different ways, So
A lot of people do like have a growth spurt in high school too. Like so you start high school looking one way and it looking completely different.
completely different.
That's crazy.
I really don't
Yeah,
think I
got these
changed that much.
Invisaligns. There's like a hook on it because I have rubber bands that's cutting the shit out of the inside of my mouth right now. Like
Yeah.
there's definitely I can taste blood. So that's what's been going on with me. A lot of Nemo's Dreamscapes too.
If you
y'all
guys know what
Nemo's
that is.
Dreamscapes is, it's like this YouTube channel that they do like scenic stuff.
Quite
and they
picturesque.
have like oldies playing in the other room during a rainstorm, and it's all very dorky, but it's so nice.
It's soothing, I
It's
guess.
so soothing. I put it on in the background, and I've been reading it.
She stopped. So the face that you gave me, man. I've been there when we're recording, and I'm like, oh, and I said, do I want to say
I will
that?
tell y'all though. Y'all know about Akatar?
People are bound to know about it.
Thorns and Roses. Okay, I'm actually listening to the first one on the Audible in my spare time.
On the Audible.
And but somebody made the second book, which is the best one. If you've read them, you all know it's the best one from the boy's point of view. Like while they're falling in love, and it's a slow burn. It's a very slow burn. I love a slow burn. If you didn't, now you know. And,
I didn't know you liked a slow burn.
Yeah, you did. Yes, you did.
Oh,
I love a slow
No,
burn.
I love slow burn too, but I thought you didn't like.
I don't like a slow burn in real life. I like a slow burn
Like on a
book.
TV screen?
No, well, that depends. It really depends.
All right.
What are you talking about?
Bridgerton season 2.
Speak your fucking mind.
Bridgerton season 2.
Bridgerton season 2 can suck my fucking dick, okay? Bridgerton season 2 took too long and they were too hateful.
Slow burn.
Nope, that's not a slow burn. That was just they were bullying each other, and we got 2 episodes of them liking each other.
It's literally a slow burn. It was slowly burning the whole fucking time.
Okay,
That pot was burning.
The difference is, in ACOTAR, one of them is yearning the whole time. That one was different.
There
must be
definite
you hear
yearning
me
on
talk
Anthony's end.
You're killing me. You're killing me. He was terrible. Hannah, please. He was going to marry her sister. That is not a slow burn. Oh, you're killing me.
We don't have to do this on the podcast.
It's so different. Anyway, this one, there was yearning the whole time. Like, the recent... I'm about to spoil everything.
Well, I think it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Hey,
so,
she's gonna spoil everything. There you go.
Rhysand liked Feyre from the beginning. Like, he had been dreaming about her before they even met. Like, he used to see stuff through her eyes because they're, like, mated, so they're attached. So, yeah. Why is Matthew McConaughey on Fox News?
Sorry, I don't know. She had her, yeah, my Musing skin. It was weird playing it with the sound off, so it was just a really beautiful view to look at. But then it's, Shenanigans wrote the homepage. It's tripping me out because it says deep in the heart, and it looks like it's Texas. That's a fucking longhorn if I've ever seen it. This is not a longhorn, that's a deer. Texas longhorns, and I was just making the reference, like, that is definitely a deer, yes. Alright, and it says narrated by Matthew McConaughey. But it makes sense why Fox Nation would do that, but why does it have to be Fox Nation? You know, can't say nation. I don't know what that is. I like it though. It's a
Taste my mouth. Besides the blood. Anyway, all right. Well, that's our high school advice. And my zoomies.
Please, watch Shrill.
Also,
Not that anybody.
if you read ACOTAR, read from Rhysand's point of view. I'll put it in the description. I can't link Shrill because it's on Hulu, but you know, look it up on Hulu. You should get a quote.
Oh yeah. Oh my god. I was about to just.
We've done that. We would have already done that once by now.
Ripped off a whole fucking page. I'm really upset about that. Okay. December 8th, 2020. Megan Owens. I slept for like 6 hours in a week because I had so much fucking coke.
Dude, that was 2020. I had an addiction when I was at IUS. Oh my god, I used to go get the McFrappes and also a Diet Coke every day at the vending machine. And I remember one time my card didn't work and somebody swiped their card for me and got me one. That was cool. But yeah,
that is really nice.
I had to fight that later on in life. It was crazy. Also, those McDonald's frappes. Hey,
I have not had one in years.
Well, not that this matters, but like, I don't pay attention to calories, but they have, like, you would be amazed how many calories are in those.
Is it at least under 1,000?
Maybe not, dude.
Oh, wow.
Like, it's high. It's, like, multiple meals.
That is pretty bonkers, and I'm just wanting a fucking snacky snack. Oh, chill.
I was having one every day, and I gained, like, 15 to 20 pounds in a year.
Adds up, dude.
It was definitely from frappes. So... yeah.
I mean, yeah.
There's taking care of your body, and then there's unhealthy habits that you're using to cope.
Yeah, well, like, I mean, you shouldn't be having something like that every day. It doesn't matter what it is if it's like that. Like, your body is like, oh my god, stop.
Yep, take that as a sign not to go to college before you're ready to go to college. Or
I'm saying, or your coping is, like, unhealthy. Yeah. Oh my god. Anyway. Yeah, the way that I was, like, skipping classes and rather just, oh, I'm gonna get some food, go to the library and hang out type thing. Yeah, just like, no.
Yeah. No.
Just don't go. Just don't go to school.
All right. Well, we'll see y'all next Wednesday.
Week.